The stems. This is for STEM 2.4. Today we're going to write formulas from the names, and it shouldn't be much harder than what we did just the other day. So we're just going to start right at it, and hopefully you enjoy this. It's one of my favorite things to do, and we'll get started. Okay, as you can see here, we have this time the names written. And there's some things we want to watch out for. And the first thing we want to watch out for is that little 2 there that's in the parentheses. That 2, if you remember from our sheet before, that 2 was written there, that Roman numeral was written in there when there was more than one possible charge for that element. In this case, the copper, the copper ion. So you have your chart, right? And if you don't have that chart, this is also on Schoology, but we're going to find copper. And I'll do it on the screen, but copper's right here. It looks like mine's backwards, so it's at the end of the D block. So it's going to be a 3D9, it looks like. Let me get up my regular screen here. Ion chart. And if we'll look, it's right there. Okay, and so this is copper 2. Just as what we said before. Oops, I just hit that button. So copper 2. And so copper 2 has a +2 charge. All right, let's go back. There we are. Okay, so copper 2 with a +2 charge. So we're going to write the symbol for copper, which was Cu. Oh my goodness. Let's change the size of that font. Geesh. Okay, let me try to erase that. Oops. there we go. So we have copper, which is Cu. All right, and it was +2. So write that +2 right above there because you need that. You're going to need that for the crisscross coming in a little bit. So make sure you write that up there. Now, we have something that looks like it's called phosphate. All right, now, if it ends in an 8, right, it's going to be a polyatomic ion. The other atoms usually end in "ide." Not all of them. Some of the polyatomics end in "ide," but most of the atoms, when they're the negative, or the "ide," well, all of the atoms when they're the negative have the "ide" ending. A few of the polyatomic ions do, but if it ends in 8 or oops, I'm pushing the wrong screen, or something like acetate, something like that, it's going to be a polyatomic ion. So we're going to have to go back to that chart again. And that polyatomic ion chart is on the back of that paper that we got the other day. I think we got this the other day. I'm pretty sure. If you were at school, you did. If you weren't, it's all in Schoology. And so we have to find this. It's phosphate. And that's where I just was a second ago. And all right, I see it already. Okay, now this chart's going to be hard to find the things in the beginning. And on the chart, I put all these nice little parentheses on there after our last video because I thought that would make it a little bit more helpful to write. So if I look right here, I see phosphate. And it's PO4 in parentheses with a -3 charge. Okay. It helps if you can see both things at once. PO4 with a -3 charge. Okay, we're not done. I'm pointing at the microphone for some reason. We're not done. We're not done. Okay, so we have to do our crisscross yet. Crisscross and then reduce if we need to. We're not going to have to reduce in this case, but we are going to have to crisscross. Always crisscross. Take your 3, put down here. Don't write the negative. Don't write the negative. It's just 3. And you're going to put your 2 outside the parentheses. Make sure you have those parentheses. If you don't have those parentheses, it makes it look like we have 42 oxygens. We don't want that. No, we want 2 PO4s. And that's it. Okay, let's try the next one. Potassium nitride. So potassium, way over here, number 19 on your chart. So you go find number 19 on the chart. Oops, I've used the other chart, but that'll still work because it's on that first column. Potassium is +1. Let me go back and find it on our other chart that I really want you to look on, our ion chart. And it says right here, first column, potassium +1. So write K +1. Oops, I'm froze there. Okay, so we're going to write K +1. All right, let's go back. Just write it. You can just write a plus. Remember, ones are optional in chemistry in most cases. So K plus, or you can write +1. I'll put +1 up here to make you happy. Now it's nitride. Okay, ide. It's probably one of those atoms. So we need to go back. I have two screens going here, and I keep pushing the wrong screen. I'm sorry about that. We go back to our chart, and it's going to be on the other side, and it was nitride, right? And it's right there. And nitride is -3. Nitride. Crisscross. All right. I'm going to go fast now. I know the charges, all right? So it makes it a lot faster for me. I know that. So let's just go through this real quick. Hey, I'm back moving again. Okay, so we have Al, and Al is +3. Where am I finding Al? I'm going to see in the P, okay? It's over in the P. Remember, my table looks backwards for this camera, but that's the P. P1. Okay, and oxygen is -2. Crisscross. Iron 2 oxide. Roman numeral 2. That means we're going to have to find out which charge it is. So let's go back to our ion chart. Iron is in the D block, right there in the middle. And it's iron, Roman numeral 2. So that's iron with a +2 charge. Okay, and we're back to the paper. And so it's going to be Fe +2. Oxygen, we just looked that up a little bit ago. It's -2. Hey, 2 and 2. That reduces to 1 and 1, right? Just like a fraction. I'll write this out. You don't have to write these fractions out, right? 2 over 2 equals 1 over 1, right? You don't have to write that out. I'm just trying to show you. Hey there, I straightened it out. All right, I'm just trying to show you that, and you can just do it in your head. Now, you can put ones down there, or ones are optional. Aluminum is +3, and then we have something called sulfide. And if you look at on your table, the sulfide is going to be right below the oxygen. Okay, so it's going to be a -2 charge. So, I wrote oxygen. So write S -2, and then we crisscross, right? Here I can put ones there. I did crisscross, but they're reduced, so it didn't make a difference. And then finally, sodium acetate. Sodium is Na. That's when people get confused with, because the name, you know, the A, Na, it doesn't sound like it'd be sodium, but it is. And then acetate. Now, acetate is one of those polyatomic ions. It's one of the ones that no one can find on this chart for some reason. So let's see what we got here. On this chart here, acetate's the very first one. Okay, so this first chart's in alphabetical order, if that helps. And then the other chart, it's kind of weird. It's by charges, alphabetical order and charges. It's kind of weird, and it's kind of hard for you guys. But we look, and we find that acetate, maybe it's not alphabetical order at all. Nope, it's right here. Same formula, right? Yeah, I don't know what order this chart is in. I guess once you learn the compounds a little bit better, it makes more sense. You can find it really easy, but you know, that's acetate. It's CH3 and then COO in parentheses with a -1 charge. All right, so I am back, and there's my acetate. Again, it's in parentheses, CH3COO, and it has a -1. Na, I didn't write it up there, I should have, that's a +1. It's 1 and 1. Hey, crisscross, they're 1 and 1. You can put them there or not. Okay? And that's it for today. There's going to be a worksheet. I don't know why I didn't put it up yesterday. I was just really busy, but it will be up in a few minutes. I will probably not even edit this video. I'm just going to shove it right up. I'll put a title on it and things, but no cartoons this time. Sorry.